Hey, welcome back to BSG Annual. We're now about to throw it over to the next run, which is going to be New Super Mario Bros. Wii with ShadowFrost. Take it away.
Thank you. So yeah, welcome everyone. This is gonna be New Super Mario Bros. Wii. The first thing I quickly want to mention, we actually start this game by skipping the intro cutscene already by just starting the run at the first input. So yeah, whenever Stack's ready, they can give me a countdown.
2, 1, go!
So yeah, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. It's a nice little game for the Wii, or well, not really little, but overall this run is pretty short because we're gonna be trying to use as many of the shortcuts or the secret exits in this run. The mechanics are pretty simple. Hold right to run, slide down slopes because it's faster, and we just got the most amazing power-up in this entire game, the propeller suit. The propeller suit, if you spin right now, I would gain like a lot of height. However, if you do that, you also lose a lot of your speed as well. So overall, we don't want to use it, only when we really want to get that extra height. So far, pretty simple first stage. Best. Normally I got a 454 here, but I made a few tiny mistakes in some of my jumps here. A lot of it in this run is the really optimizing of the movements. There aren't a lot of skips. There's like there's one mediocre skip and just one very big skip that we're going to be attempting in this run. It's very important in this run that we keep our propeller suit as long as possible, because the two skips that I mentioned do need this propeller suit to make them work. So yeah, as any classic 2D Mario, the second level is an underground stage, and we got all these platforms moving up and down. They're on a global cycle. No, they're not on a global cycle. That's what I should say. They actually start cycling when you get close enough to them. So even if you make mistakes early on, you always get the same cycle later. There we go for a secret star. It gives us two advantages. First things first, we run faster than we normally would. And secondly, we don't get hit by any of these enemies, so we don't have to wait for cycles of the enemies to disappear. Overall, still pretty straightforward level. Also, these platforms I have to control with motion controls. Amazing. It's a Nintendo game. It's the Wii. Of course, they had to put in motion controls. But yeah, overall, I'm actually playing this game with just a Wiimote. That's what the game kind of tells you, like, hey, that's the way to play this game. That's also how I learned this game originally. And then, oh, oops, I thought there was going to be a cutscene or something. But yeah, that's how I originally played the game, learned the game with just a Wiimote. And later, like, when I already started running the game for a while, people came in my chat and like, hey, you know, you can use the nunchuck as well, right? Just Wiimote and nunchuck. And I was like, you can? Oh, well, now I learned it like this. So up until this day, I still run with just the Wiimote. So yeah, this is going to be the first stage where we're going to be going for a shortcut. We want to avoid all these Hammer Bros because Hammer Bros are annoying. Definitely always the most annoying enemy. Unfortunately, we don't get to see Yoshi in this level now, because we can actually do this shortcut with the propeller suit. We get on top of this wall here, and once we start running a little bit further here, there's a secret pipe here. Yeah, once we get to the end of this level here, you can see, since at the end here there's going to be a red flag, and the red flag means it's the secret exit of the stage. This secret exit will bring us to the cannon, or, well, not the cannon, but it brings us to a cannon. And the cannons are going to be super useful in the any percent category. The cannon allows us to skip multiple worlds in this run. Also, very important, it's Toad! Hi Toad, how are you doing? There's some bad news about Bowser Jr. kidnapping Toads and hiding them in question mark blocks. And, you know, it gives a little extra bonus if you save a Toad in a level and bring him all the way to the end with you. But they always appear in earlier levels, so we just ignore that Toad. Sorry, Toad. You're just gonna be stuck there forever. So yeah, back to the cannon. What else can I say about it? With the cannon, we can skip multiple worlds. This one will take us all the way to World 5. So, you know, that's already 4 worlds done, basically, in like 4 minutes. Seems like a good pace.
Have we got a second for a quick word?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. It's just to let everybody know that unfortunately, due to the runner being a little under the weather, the Black Clover Quartet Nights run for later on today is now not going to take place. We do apologise for that, but we hope the runner gets well soon.
Oh, that's unfortunate, but yeah, definitely health first, speedrun second. So yeah, now we're getting into World 5, and this is definitely where the game starts getting a little bit more difficult. In this first stage in World 5, we're going to be going for one of these cycle blocks, which it cycles through 4 different power-ups, and I want to go for a very specific power-up here. So I slow it down there a little bit, just so I can time it for the star power-up. Just as before, we run faster with the star power-up, and we can just don't have to worry about the enemies being in our way. Now we get to these vines, we want to make sure not to jump too high, because then if you grab too high, you actually don't make it far enough on the next vine to gain enough distance. Here we can skip the spinning platform by just propeller shooting out, jumping over these enemies, and then be very careful of this paratroop over here. It happens so often to me that I just jumped straight into him. He's in a really, really annoying spot. So yeah, now that this level is done, we're actually having... we can't immediately go to the next level yet, because we have to get through this little moat you see over here. You see the piranha on there, and throughout this entirety of World 5, every time you beat a stage or die in a stage, these little spiky vines will change patterns. With the way how it's played out, if once we get here, there's no way to avoid this piranha plant. Technically, we would be able to avoid him if we would die an extra time in a stage, but, you know, that means losing propeller suit again and such, and just dying is slow. So yeah, these little extra stages, if you hit an enemy on the overworld, there's this little mini-game where you have to collect all the 8 Toad balls, and when you do, you save Toad. This one we actually save, and you get some extra bonus power-ups. You can use those on the overworlds, and to actually use it just in case we need it. Hopefully I won't be using any of them, but they're nice for a little bit of a backup. Here we actually had 2 different choices of which stage to go to, either 5-2 or 5-3. 5-2 is definitely the easier stage. However, this stage is like barely faster by like 2 seconds. So definitely, I'm just going for it. I feel like it. I feel positive about this run. I practiced. But yeah, at this point, like, we still have the propeller suit, and the propeller suit is going to be very important starting in the next stage. However, if we would have lost it at this point, there is one backup propeller suit we can grab, which is actually in this stage. Therefore, if we would have lost the propeller suit early on, we would have to do this stage regardless. That's a little bit of my movement there, but all things are good if I just don't lose my propeller suit. Like, that's the most important thing in this run. Like, that's why I feel like my estimate might be a little bit high, because just losing the propeller suit can lose you like 3-4 minutes in this run. Doesn't happen super often, but just I always have that safety measure put in for my estimate. So yeah, this stage is where definitely is gonna make a difference that we have the propeller suit at this point. For this entire stage, we have to go vertically. Therefore, instead of having to wait for like a million cycles of these platforms moving back and forth, we can actually start skipping quite a bit of this stage. So yeah, overall, this entire level is based are on global cycles, so there's I can't really how I play throughout the entire level is gonna matter. I'll be going for the second fastest cycle, just because the fastest cycle is actually pretty hard to pull off. Like, I only like so far, as far as I know, only the few top runners actually go for that strat because it's actually super tight. Anyway, I made the second fastest cycle, so overall this losing time on this stage is kind of difficult, only if you lose the propeller suit somewhere. And this is where we're actually going to be fighting one of the bosses. This is, I think, Lemmy. I don't know my Koopa Link names. And as with any Mario game, we have to jump on him 3 times. Also, there's a fly just sitting on my leg now. Go away. Oh, I think it's gone. Okay. The fly is trying to distract me from my run. How dare he? Alright. So yeah, we jump on him 3 times and he is defeated. So yeah, at this point, like normally you can't manually save in this game, which is kind of weird. The only time you can save is after you've beaten a castle, just like in the original games. Well, not original, like I think Super Mario World has that as well. And New Super Mario Bros. DS, which, wait, no, that's just the original New Super Mario Bros. But for this next stage, this is probably going to be this is for sure going to be the biggest skip in the entire run. And we need to prepare our suit for that. But just as a backup, I'm going to be doing a save here. Just because if I would mess up the skip, it would have still be faster to reset the game and try again. Because this next stage is actually super, super slow. Because normally you have to be sitting on this boat here, which moves very, very slow. And if too many enemies drop on the platform, the boat stops as well, which is annoying. But luckily with the propeller, we can basically skip the entire stage. It has some pretty tight movement, so let me focus that on that a little bit. Here, gotta wait for some Koopas. Alright, didn't hit that one. Okay, we're using all these little platforms and blocks just to be able to land on platforms, being able to not having to use the boat. Oh, a little bit careful there. Oh, probably the most... I hope that's gonna be good enough. Ah, was not good enough. That's unfortunate. I had a little bit too little speed, therefore I wasn't able to get far enough to the right to actually get on top of the stage there. So yeah, that's unfortunate. We were almost there. That was like the last jump we had to do. So yeah, let's just try that again.
Let's play.
Hopefully I can get it now. It's still... At this point, it would probably still be faster if I would get it this try. After this try, it would have... Technically, it would have been faster, I guess, to use the boat, but... I don't want that. I want to show off cool tricks in this game. Oh, that's just to get rid of the enemies. Oh, it should be fine. Yeah, there we go. At this point, the final jump should be safe. You can get hit by that bomb there if you spin too late, but it almost never happens. If you know it's coming, you usually never don't hit it. Also, very important here. Okay, we skipped the Koopa. That Koopa there is just like, after you've done that skip, it's just so easy to think like, oh, I'm done with the difficult part, and you just forget that there's a Koopa right in front of the flagpole. Yeah, overall, still second try skip. It's definitely, since this is such a short category overall in this game, at this point it's kinda, I doubt I can PB anymore in this run, just because any bigger mistake usually causes you to be like, yeah, okay, we can't PB anymore. But oh well, I'm still on a very nice pace. Overall, I should be paying attention to the level here. So this is the ghost house. It is a bit of a maze. We have to find the right exit through all these doors. There's many fake doors as well, and we're gonna be going for the secret exit here, which is behind this wall over here. And once we make it through this secret over here, we get these light blocks, which we don't really need. And at this point, we sail out the propeller suit so we can just skip using these blocks and just fly over here. At this point, it doesn't matter super much anymore if we lose the propeller suit. Preferably, I still have it, since, you know, it's still gonna be very useful. However, if due to some reason I would lose it, it's not the end of the world. Because, you know, that's skipping World 5-4 with the boat. That's definitely the big reason why I want to keep the propeller suit throughout the run. So yeah, with that, we're basically done with World 5. We're going to be going to World 8 at this point, which is the final world of this game already. So yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a cutscene playing, so if the host wants to block anything, read out anything, now would be probably the best time.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Yes, I would like to remind everyone that we are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering, and we organise bi-monthly gatherings in the Benelux for speedrunners. We're currently streaming our annual event live from the Hotel Asteria in Varennes, the Netherlands, and we're raising money for the Dutch Cancer Society, which is a nationwide organisation committed to fight cancer while aiming for more cures and a higher quality of life for those already battling the disease. All of your donations will go to the Dutch Cancer Society, and I'd like to make everybody aware that we have currently raised €5,211 for the Dutch Cancer Society, but remember that we are looking to try and aim to get €6,500 total to enable us to run our bonus game of Riven, which you really, really do want to see. It's a fantastic run, and we look forward, hopefully, to seeing that, but we do need your donations to make that happen. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. All right, this stage is probably the most RNG-heavy stage in the entire game. As you can see, these meteorites that fall from the air can be... Oh, oops. These meteorites falling from the air can be kind of annoying, and they're like completely random in which places they're going to be dropping and whether it's a big one or a small one. Therefore, it can sometimes be a bit tricky to maneuver your way through this stage. But luckily at this point, I still have my propeller suits, which is going to make this next part a little bit easier. I'm going to be jumping over this one, and that means for the next two parts, I can actually start damage boosting through. We don't really need the propeller suit anymore at this point of the stage. I know. Big shocker. We've been using it the entire run because it's so amazing, but now I'm actually losing it on purpose. But yeah, it just skips on having to wait for cycles or having to fly over. It's just, at this point, it's just faster to run through.
Mario time.
So yeah, with this, we're actually going to be going to World 8 too, and instead of having to do, you think, we're still in World 8, and luckily we don't have to do the entirety of World 8, because in this next stage there's going to be a secret exit again. I'm kind of playing it risky here, not grabbing, like, usually when I want to play it safe, I grab one of those extra mushrooms that I got earlier from Toad, because sometimes the level can be a little bit tricky. There's going to be a lot of these spinning wheels, which are kind of annoying because they really mess with Mario's momentum. So I'm just going to be grabbing this one just in case. Because overall, just jumping Paragoombas, spike balls on switching platforms with momentum, it can get a little bit tricky. Overall, I'm still going to be trying to slide a little bit off these platforms, but as you can see, a lot of the platforms have backwards momentum, or at least are spinning counterclockwise. And you want to, if a platform is spinning counterclockwise, I kind of want to try to get off the floor as fast as possible. Also, there's a hidden star here. For anyone playing this game casually, remember that one. That's super useful in this stage. But yeah, over here there's a secret exit. Like, it's actually kind of well hidden, but you know, it's to be expected from World 8. They can't make the game that easy anymore. That's definitely not the most easy game to play, this one. Overall, I still say the speedrun is pretty easy to get into. Overall, I learned this game rather quickly, so if you're ever interested in running this game, it's definitely a fun game to pick up. And it's pretty easy to pick up, and it's just the difficulty is in mastering all the small little movement thingies. So yeah, with that, we're going to the... we finished A2 and we're going to go to a different path here, which is going to be happening right through the lava here. And we're actually getting to the most favorite kind of level of every speedrunner. Oh, the scrollers! Yay! So yeah, in this next level, there's all these skeleton dragons, which are sitting on rails. And the entirety of the stage is just waiting on these platforms. And we're basically going to be in a roller coaster. So we can be super excited. And when we go down hills, we can like raise our arms like, whee! The entire crowd is sarcastically happy that we're doing an auto-scroller. But yeah, I gotta be careful with raising my hands. But yeah, I've played this level before and I've done the fun thing of like, yeah, let's raise our arms when playing this stage. However, if I do that too fast, when I do that, I do a spin. And it has happened before that I've jumped off the thing due to that. So I'm not gonna be doing it that much. Yeah, we still gotta be jumping because I don't want to get hit here. Right now we're regular size Mario and we could be grabbing extra power-ups. However, if you grab a power-up while you don't have the full power-up yet, the screen actually freezes for a moment and does the animation of like, you're now bigger. Since we don't want that, I just avoid grabbing the power-ups here, so we could be grabbing that, but... Don't worry, we're almost done with the auto-scroller. Well, we're about over halfway through. So yeah, at this point, this part is pretty easy because you can jump through that red ring and red coins start appearing, but we don't need the extra power-up. The crowd is going wild! So yeah, quick little faster way to jump up there is just by doing wall jumps. But that's basically the only thing we can do to speed this up. And hey, more roller coasters! Also double roller coaster! Woo. Alright, we're almost there. There we go. End of the auto-scrollers. Sorry, guys. No more weeing. So yeah, at this point, we're actually getting pretty close to the end of the game. There's actually only 2 more levels left. They are probably 2 of the longest levels in the game. Though, so we're still got a little bit to go. So yeah, in this next stage, we're actually gonna go to the airship. And, you know, at this point, we've done a few levels without the propeller power-up. I kind of missed the propeller power-up. Let's get it again. Come on, it's still the most broken power-up in this game. Let's use it some more. So yeah, in this stage, we gotta spin on these screws to let the platforms get out of the way. As you can see, we have to stop. Oh, I almost forgot again. This even happened during my practice run that I just walked past that crate. There's a propeller suit in there. Super useful. But yeah, overall, in this platform, you have all these screws which you can stand still on and spin to get through. However, most of the time that's pretty slow, so I'm gonna just be trying to jump over some gaps. This spinning wheel of cannons is really unfortunate because you are never fast enough to be able to make the cycle of getting in the green pipe here, and you actually have to wait all the way to make it wait until it's facing upwards. Alright, there's gonna be a nice little skip coming up here. Well, 2 of them actually. We can just jump across this gap here instead of lowering the platforms there. First jump is the easiest out of the 2. This one is a little bit more tricky, but still made it fine. So yeah, as you can see, propeller suit is still really useful, especially in a stage where a lot of these platforms exist. The second part of the stage is also we can just slide underneath here and just spin again to avoid that, and do that once more. Oh, okay, that's just fine. Fortunately, this one we can't skip. One of the few spins we actually gotta do. Let's make sure not to get squashed there. And we're gonna go in the pipe here. So yeah, we're actually gonna be fighting Bowser Jr. over here. Yeah, like we missed like the entire plot of this game in the speedrun. So he kicks down, he uses this clown card here and he just kicks down his small one and gets in the big one. Seems kind of random, but actually in an earlier castle you actually fight him in the small one. Here we're gonna be trying to go for a quick hit here against him. If you grab on like almost immediately once the fight starts, you can get a quick hit on him there. Otherwise, you have to kind of chase him around with bombs. Oh, he's just trying to set the entire bridge on fire, which is oh, oops. I lost my propeller suit there, which is a little bit annoying. Not the end of the world, but it does make the final stage a little bit more tricky at one point. But luckily it isn't too bad. Anyway, third one is the biggest bomb. I actually got hit there. Oof. So yeah, that's Bowser Jr. done. Like there's only 1 more level to go after this one. It's the longest level of them all though. And hey, it's the princess! We saved her! Well, not really, but... So yeah, for this... I don't know what I want to say anymore at this point. I said pretty much all there is to this game. All I can do is like... that one thing I always wonder about this game is like... they take the princess away and... You know, at this point we wouldn't have any way to cross this big chunk of lava, but Bowser is such a nice guy. He actually just builds a bridge for us so we can actually save the princess. I mean, I wouldn't know how to beat this game if this bridge doesn't appear. So, Bowser, I guess thank you for that. And since I basically lost 2 of my power-ups, I'm gonna be using one of those backup mushrooms just in case. Doesn't take super long to activate it. And it does give me a little bit more of safety during this level itself. Because as with any final Bowser castle, there's going to be a lot of lava around which can hurt. One fortunate thing though is that when we don't have the propeller suit, we can actually do this spin in mid-air, which lets us able to get through some of these sections a little bit faster than with the propeller suit. Just going to be during the halfway through this level that's is a little bit more annoying. Oh, oops. See, that's why we use a mushroom. I was a little bit too fast there. Or at least didn't judge my jump movement correctly. Gonna be going down here. And we're getting to another auto-scroller. This one isn't as long though. In this part, the stage will slowly go down. And there's this dry bone on the right here. If you land on the platform with a dry bone, it just keeps appearing over and over again, which is kind of annoying. So for now... Well, why did I say anything? As you can see, the dry bones is annoying. We're gonna be doing the level again then. It's really unfortunate because the checkpoint would have been after that part of the... at least after that screen, so we're doing the entirety of it again. Oh well, I'll explain later again what I wanted to do there. Anyway, going to this part of the stage again. I mean, this run is so short. We want to see more of this run ride.
While we're doing that again, would you have a time for a quick word?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, fantastic. So, remember that all of your donations are going towards the Dutch Cancer Society, but by donating to the charity, you'll also be eligible for one of the amazing prizes, sponsored by NintendoCore.org. Any donation will get you a chance to win one of the prizes of the day and will also give you a 3 times bigger chance for the grand prize. There are 2 prizes on offer at the moment that you could get yourself in for, and these are the Dragon Ball Z titanium, steel and silicone bracelets and the USB power cable protectors.
Alright, we're back in this room again, and what I wanted to say earlier is if we avoid the platform with the dry bones on it, we don't have to deal with the dry bones for this entire part. So yeah, at this point we just gotta jump from platform to platform, making sure not to touch the lava. The lava is insta-death, so it's not like we can damage boost through it, unfortunately. Rip lava boosting in this game. So unfortunate that's not a thing. Yeah. Luckily there's a nice visual cue of when the pipe is gonna appear. Like after the 3 coins, that's when the pipe appears, so it's really nice to be able to time that. So yeah, now we get to the final part here where we're going through a big door and I wonder what's gonna happen here. Definitely have never played a Mario game before, so I don't have no clue what's coming up here. So over here we got a little bit more of RNG. How these balls appear is completely random. The only thing that is the fireballs can't appear twice on the same height in a row, and that's the only thing you can deal with it. That's sort of not RNG. Anyway, this is Bowser, final boss of the game. He's shooting fireballs at us, and if I would have had a propeller suit here, I would have just jumped over him. Now I'm just gonna wait until he does a high jump. It sometimes takes a little bit long, but here he goes. He's gonna do his big jump, and there we go. Oh, we're done. Easy. So yeah, there we go. We saved the princess. We're all happy, and yeah, she's gone a little bit smaller and fatter, though, it seems. I guess that happens when you're in a cage, I guess. Oh, wait. That's not the princess. Oof. Oh, well, I guess we're not done yet. We gotta do one more little section over here. Well, not really little. That's quite the opposite, because at this point, Bowser gets huge. And, you know, everyone knows how the best way to fight a boss is just to run away, right? So, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna run away here. We're gonna use his fireballs here to maneuver throughout the stage here. You'll constantly see me jumping just to manipulate his fireballs. I want to make sure that the fireballs stay pretty high, just so they keep going forward in a straight path. Just gotta make sure here. Oh. I think that one should be able to break it. There we go. Overall, that was a pretty good fireball section. All right, here we're grabbing the propeller suit again because, of course, why not? Oh god. Run away from the fireball! Run away! All right, we're fine. We're fine. Oh, the fireball's gone. Don't worry, guys. There's more fireballs coming, but that one is gone. So yeah, time is actually coming up pretty soon. It's gonna be when I hit the big button at the end, which is gonna be a little bit further still. You know what? I'm playing it safe. I'll just wait here. I actually gotta be careful here to not shake my Wiimote at the end. Yeah, that was time, by the way. Thank you. So yeah, that was the end of the run. One quick thing I want to mention there, though, at the end. If you do a spin input right at the moment you hit the button, Mario actually flies off the stage and dies. So even though the timer would have already finished, the run would still be invalid because you don't get to the credit screen. That's actually my only addition to the speedrunning community. They added an extra rule of you need to get to the credits at the end of this. That's the only addition I made to this. So yeah, that was the run. I hope everyone enjoyed. 29 minutes is still a really, really nice time to get. I always aim for sub 30 in a marathon run, so that's always good. I hope everyone enjoyed the run, enjoyed the rest of the marathon, and yeah, see y'all later.
Thank you very much indeed, ShadowFrost, for that amazing new Super Mario Bros. Wii run. We will be back very, very shortly. We're just about to go to some adverts, but our next run is going to be a Viva Pinata, any percent with Sandskill. So please stick around. That's coming up shortly.